My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of Wolf Creek. And I was going to talk about how underrated I find this movie to be, but looking at reviews online, I don't think I can call it underrated anymore. Like, people have really come around to it, and rightfully so. Okay, so I knew there was a sequel to this movie, which I'll be watching and reviewing real soon, but I didn't realize until last night that there's an entire TV show based off of this movie. So, like, it's a big success. But let's begin by talking about the cast. And Jean Garrett is phenomenal here. Like, when people talk about iconic horror villains, they never mention this guy, but I think they really should. He is just so terrifying and menacing, and I like how there's an appeal to him at first. You can see how he draws people in, makes them feel safe, and then when things escalate, he is just an evil man, and he just plays both sides of this character so well, and some of his line delivery is just pitch perfect. We've also got Cassandra Wagwath and Kirstie Morasi, who just feel really believable as their characters, and Nathan Phillips also does a pretty good job. So the cast is solid all around, and this movie is beautifully shot by Will Gibson. I really like how much of the land of Australia we see. You know, you really get a sense of the environment. And I also kind of like how it has a grainy aesthetic at times. Just a very nice movie to look at. Okay, so like one of my favorite horror movies is Hostel. And I love how in that movie, it really creates a feel for traveling to a foreign country. And I feel like this movie taps into that same idea. You know, there's just a feel of being helpless and trapped, and I don't know, I feel like this movie really taps into something psychologically, and it's also very tense and pretty horrific at times. There is one scene with a knife that it really gets under my skin. And I feel like one thing that really stands out here is how real it feels. Like, it's a slasher movie, but it doesn't feel like Friday the 13th. It doesn't feel like Halloween. It feels real. And that is why this movie stands out as much as it does. But I do appreciate how this movie spends the first half setting up the characters and trying to get you to care for them. And like I said, I appreciate the attempt, but I feel like this movie overdoes it. I feel like we spend a little too much time setting up these characters, and they're not really the most interesting characters. And as a result, it just, it can feel like a drag. I do think this movie has some serious pacing issues, so that does drag the movie down a bit for me. And I should say, like, this isn't a fun slasher movie. This is a very slow, a very effective watch, so it's one you have to be in the right mood to watch. But I still definitely recommend it. I think the Australian environment is brought to life so incredibly well. It's beautifully shot. It's incredibly well directed by Greg McLean. Greg McLean, yes. And the performances are really solid. It's tense. It's brutal at times. It's definitely a good movie, even if there's pacing issues. So I'll give Wolf Creek a 7 out of 10. Okay, have you seen Wolf Creek? What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin out.